Hey everybody, welcome to Downballot Roundup in partnership with No Dem Left Behind, where I introduce you to Democratic candidates running in local elections throughout the country. I'm Bryan Randolph, and today I am here with Shellie Willis, who is running for the Washington House of Representatives to represent the 25th District in Position 2. Hello, Shellie. It is wonderful to have you.
Hi, how you doing? Thank you so much, Brian, for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely, it's great to have you. Why don't you start by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Shellie Willis. I am a retired U.S. Army veteran. I retired. My husband and I both retired from Joint Base Lewis McChord right here in Washington State, with our two then younger children, now adults. And I live in the 25th district. Um, I have been had the opportunity to be a part of just some transformative opportunities since retiring from the Army. And my family eventually moved here to the 25th district, and so I get to live, work, and invest in the same space. And I'm just all about community and knowing and understanding exactly what we really can do more of in order to make ourselves better. So a centrist and collaborator, and ready to do the work and continue serving just like I serve my country
Awesome. And why don't you tell me about the 25th District itself?
itself. So we are a how do we put it? We are very, I would say that we're the only Biden one red district in our county.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of refer to ourselves kind of as the red dot in a blue county. We were working really hard to flip the entire county blue. So we have a very Republican led representation here who is not for all of the people who are here. It is very much so a diverse population. We have military families that live in this legislative district. So we have a lot of laborers who live in our legislative district. So very heavy on labor and working families in this district. And our uh, industry sector, or I would say our highest employment sector, is retail. We're 84% retail employment here. And we can do more in that area as far as bringing more businesses and opportunities here in our district.
Okay, and when you're out in the district, what are you hearing from people? What are the big issues that are getting people?
It's the same kitchen table issues that we're all concerned about around public safety, but public safety is kind of carved out differently. There's a lot of safety in schools it's a huge heightened awareness around safety in our schools. And I'm not just talking to adults, I'm talking to teenagers who can't even vote yet. And I'm always asking them, what do you need me to do to represent you that you need me to not mess up or improve? I always ask that question. We're hearing about, childcare, of course, is a barrier. Women's rights, that's reproductive rights, that's on the ballot, whether it's physically on the ballot or not. That is a conversation. People want to know where you stand on that and how you are supporting women's rights. Um, and also just around our workforce and economic development initiatives and issues.
Just out of curiosity, because I've heard a lot of people are talking to me about childcare. Do you have anything in particular that you think might be a good way to deal with the childcare situation?
Um, Honestly, the biggest thing right now that's being talked about around childcare itself is just finding a way to either to cap costs for it, but one create it. So we're talking about creating career pathways for childcare providers and also providing some types of subsidies and incentives. We also have to work locally on adjusting our zoning issues, and that means being able to put those type of childcare facilities in our areas where when we talked about urban growth and creating plans, I don't think people thought about childcare facilities or being able to have more childcare availability in the within the district. Also, creating home childcare providers. How do we work in partnership to create home childcare providers where we can actually assist individuals to so we can spread it out where if we don't have actual childcare facilities, we can do that. And creating a cap based off of income, a better cap to make it affordable. People should not have to either stop working because of childcare, or if you're in a dual parent home, one of their checks is going all to childcare, so that's still not assisting the family. So we have to find unique ways in order to do that, and I'm working in partnership with organizations like the Children's Campaign Fund that endorsed me to find unique ways in which we can actually find a way to level the playing field in the cost because it is it's a barrier, and it's from a military family perspective, it can impact your mission. Mission is always first. I served in the Army, and with mission being first, if your family isn't settled and secure and safe, it does impact the way that service member shows up for that mission. So it is a mission critical public health issue that we address childcare and find a unique way in order to do that. So it, yeah.
Excellent. All right, thank you. Okay, so can you give me an issue where you and your opponent really differ on something?
So today I posted a video around her one. Um, I would, and let me be very clear. The only interaction me and my opponent have actually really had is on a newspaper article, which is where we were able to finally figure out and understand some of what her thoughts and initiatives are. And where we difficult, which seems to be her only priority, is around transgender youth and not allowing them to have the opportunities to secure, proper health care and to make those decisions. Um, she made that is like one of her top priorities. And I'm like, with all of the challenges we have in our legislative district, transgender youth is where you're going. And so we definitely do differ. We differ also, I mean, on childcare. She looks at it from a zoning perspective about creating more parking spaces, or it's there's a huge difference. And I would say that also she's a supporter of Moms for Liberty. We are not on the same spectrum. So we're definitely on two different ends. Um, no one likes taxes, but some taxes are necessary in order for us to be able to have certain benefits that we all benefit from. So those tend to be the top areas where she's kind of floating, but also presenting herself in a way that is not necessarily, it is not aligned in what the general public needs and what all of our legislative district really needs.
Was there a moment that kind of drove you to finally run for office that kind of pushed you across the line?
So I ran last year for city council for the at-large seat, which means you have to work the entire city limit. So we kind of call that the pre-workout to this particular role. The at-large seat, working running for the city of Puyallup, Washington's at-large position, we didn't lose by much at all. I think it was like less than 800 votes, if not around that much. So what it told us was it was an awakening moment that people are hungry and ready for change. They are also very much so ready for proper representation because no one that leads us looks like me or anyone else. So we're looking, I want to serve. So for me, it was important that if I'm in this community, I can continue to do what I'm already doing through workforce and economic development, through my veteran advocacy. I wanted to know what more could I do. So I attended Emerge Washington, which I love Emerge as an organization. Shout out to Emerge. And that helped me make my decision while I was going through that training program for Democratic women who want to run for office. And then I stepped into that role. Well, I had a conversation with a great mentor, and she said, "You're going to have to do it again. I hate to ask you, but we need you to run again." And all things meaningful. I just talked to my family, made a decision that I got to do it again, and I needed to do it again. The mission isn't complete.
I'm glad. All right. Well, okay, so this is my favorite question. It's my last question. I call it my softball, but it is my favorite. Could you tell me something about your district that makes it special to you?
So, what makes this district special to me is the fact that it provides a very family oriented, um, diverse population of people that live here. There's so much vibrancy happening with our small businesses here. And there's so many women owned businesses here. And it excites me to see the growth that's happening. And it excites me to see and meet the community members who don't even realize all the parts and pieces of our district and the history here. And it's just a beautiful place. I've always had my eye on this district and never knew why. And when me and my family bought our home here in 2019, and we had COVID, so COVID gave us an opportunity to really like research and understand that this is really a place where young families can thrive, where entrepreneurs can thrive. and that there is prosperity here, just like there is throughout the entire state of Washington. In Puyallup, Washington, and in the 25th Legislative District, which comprises itself of Summit Waller, um, Puyallup, South Hill, and a little bit of Graham, there is a rural urban mixture here. There's opportunity here. I want to be a part of that. I've been a part of it professionally, and now that my family and I call this district home, I want to continue to drive that narrative that there are so many people who want to be able to not just live here, they want to be able to continue to create the economic vibrancy that is here, and that families want to be here and grow up and grow old here.
Shellie Willis is running for the Washington House of Representatives to represent the 25th District in Position 2. Thank you so much for being here and the best of luck. I really hope you take this.
We're going to win, and thank you so much
Excellent.
for this opportunity.